Good morning. Good morning, everybody. Hope everybody's doing good this morning. Happy Monday to you. Happy Monday to everybody. Hope everybody had a great weekend. My name is Chad Free, and I'm a wealth strategist. And I believe that true wealth is built from the inside out, and it's an abundance of everything that you value or anything that you value at that. And I believe that, you know, money for a lot of people end up dictating what they do, when they do it, and who they do it with. And it's my mission and calling to put money in its spot. And it should be a resource and it should be provision for your vision. And I haven't talked about money in a while. I haven't talked about money. And I saw the I guess the post today showing that mindset and money with Chad Free. And I figured, hey, let's talk about money. See, I get excited about once you got your money in its spot and in the right place and you're not worried about it no more, then you can be you. So I get more excited about you being you and you being in your purpose and alignment with your assignment and all that good stuff. Come on, I'm already yayed up this morning. All right. All right. But before we get started, let me calm down, back up, and let's do our affirmations. So we're gonna come off mute. We're all gonna come off mute, and we're gonna just show everybody how beautiful we harmonize together as we say this right here. All right. I am
and
created
created
on
on
purpose
purpose
for a
for a
purpose.
purpose.
And
You
you
was
are
created
are
created
created
on
on
purpose for a
purpose
purpose.
for a purpose.
All right. Doesn't that just sound good to say that? You need to say that because I know you that was beautiful harmony and y'all were paying attention to that. But once we get off this call, say that to yourself a few times because you really are. You're created on purpose for a purpose. And my question to you would be, are you even pursuing that purpose? Because once you do, man, it's great. It really is. I believe that your purpose will find you. All right. So today I am going to talk about a little bit of money. I'm going to talk about the 4 cornerstones and principles that I use when I build a financial model. All right. And so there's 4 different things that I look at. And again, this is just a financial model that I build, right? Um, and you can choose what you want to do here, there, and everywhere. But I think these principles everybody should know, but unfortunately, it's not taught. And what is taught sometimes is twisted. And I'm going to prove that. I'm going to show you the math and tell you the math. And I'm going to be really bold doing it because I believe math is the truth. Math is the truth, right? So I'm going to ask that when we're looking at all of this, I want you to think about, what we've been taught and all that good stuff. You got to look at the context of what you're being told before you look at the contents that's being told to you. Because if you really pay attention here, you're going to see how easily it's twisted. Now, I haven't used this corny little saying in a long, long time, okay, or this example, but I'm just going to go ahead and do it. Get you laughing a little bit, get your mind opened up. If I tell you, hey, pull out your phone, and first one to tell me how many seconds there are in a year, I'm going to give you a piece of candy, right? How many seconds are there in a year? Automatically, most people go to their phone. Well, there's 7 days in a week, 52 weeks in a year, 60 seconds. Well, what if I really mean that there's 12 seconds in a year? January 2nd, February 2nd, March 2nd. Huh? What are we looking at? Look at the whole truth. Find out the context. All right. So the 4 things that I want to share with you today I think will be eye-opening, because you don't put your attention to something until you realize there's a problem. Okay? So I'm going to share the problems with you today. The very first thing is, I ask people, is your money protected? The next thing, number two, I say, are you earning interest or are you paying interest? Number three, are you implementing tax planning in your wealth building? And then number four, have you considered income optimization as it pertains to retirement, when you get to retirement and start taking distributions? All right, so let's start out with the first one. Now, again, some of you have heard me talk about this, but I don't know that I've ever shared all four of these things and backed it up with the context and contents. Okay, but anyway, the first thing is, I ask people a lot of times, is your money on a roller coaster or is it on an escalator? Is it protected? Because here's the deal. Now, I want you to see how easy this is for me to possibly persuade you. Now, you automatically put your guard up because you know that I'm about to pull something slick on you, right? But if I told you, hey, I believe I can get you a 25% average rate of return over the next 2 years. I really do. You want me to do that? You interested? If we look at that, a lot of people is going to say, please do. Yes, do it. All right. So that's the context. All right. The contents, and then we're going to look at truth. The contents is, you give me, let's say, $100,000, and the first year we lose 50%. I'm going to do the math with you. That, in my math here at Hillcrest High School that I went to, and then Clemson, that's $50,000. Now, what kind of return the next year do you have to get just to get back even, back to your 100,000? 100%. Some people, without thinking, says, well, I lost 50%. I got to get 50%. Well, if you're $50,000 and you get a 50% return that year, that's only 25,000. So you got back up to 75,000, but you didn't quite get to 100,000. So if we get 100% return, that's $50,000. So we're back at 100,000. Now, let's look at truth. Look at the math. I learned averages at Hillcrest, maybe in middle school. If you take negative 50% and you add 100% and you divide that by 2, that's 25%. Let that sink in. So realistically, if I don't have a conscious, yes, I said that, I can say, well, I got them what I told them I was going to get them, 25% average rate of return. Horse crap. Y'all know me. I'm not going to sugarcoat this stuff. This is what I do. I didn't do nothing for you, is what I did. I didn't do anything for you. I used Wall Street fuzzy math to take advantage of you. And you trusted me to do so. Ooh-wee. I'm talking boldly this morning, aren't I? All right. Now, that's enough of that. You understand that? You can get all these average rates of returns and you can be spinning and not going anywhere. The second thing, are you earning interest or are you paying interest? Now, understand this, there is a difference. And when I give you this example of this particular mortgage, which some of you may have heard me talk about, and some of you may have not heard me talk about, I'm not bashing mortgages. I have a mortgage. But I believe that you need to be educated and understand how to best get out of the mortgage or use that mortgage to your advantage. So, are you turning your debt into wealth? Or are you being took advantage of, just like, the advisor that said a 25% average rate of return? And here's how I believe you can be took advantage of. It's because a lot of people are so consumed with their APRs, and it matters. It does matter. It really does. But once you understand money and it is currency and currency equals movement, and you understand how to direct your money and how it needs to be redirected, repositioned sometimes, then you can start getting ahead. Because how many people say, God, I make good money. I feel like I do good, but I ain't got nothing to show for it. I don't know where it all goes. Well, let's break down this mortgage real quick. A $500,000 30-year mortgage at 4% APR, 4% APR. Yeah, I'm going to say it one more time. 4% APR is good right now. A 4% APR is good right now. But why are we hung so much on APRs? Yes, it's annual percentage rate. But could it also be all potential reduced? Because the payment on that particular mortgage is $2,375. Now, if you know anything about payments, you know that there's two parts of a payment. There's some that goes to the principal and there's some that goes to the interest, right? And on that payment, $1,666 goes towards interest. It's not going towards your principal. It's going toward the profit margin of the financial institution. And that's fine. We all have to make money. But education is super, super, super important. So if you have, but let me break this down, that is 70% of that payment you are losing every single month, never to have it back in your possession to earn interest in your favor ever again. That is called lost dollars. I'm just educating you. 70%. So look here, if we're losing 70% every single month, what investment are you putting money into that is giving you a 70% return? Am I wrong? So let me give you a visual. I just did a reel the other day. I'm pouring water. I'm putting money into this account, right? This bucket. And I got a 4% APR. Woo, I'm doing great. And I'm putting my money into this. Let me give it a disclosure. I'm not telling you not to put in your 401k and your IRA and all that good stuff. Okay. I'm not doing that. I'm not doing that. Don't need any haters here. Make sure you get the whole context. But you put money chasing that 9, 10, 11% return, but you got a big old hole at the bottom of your cup or your bucket, and 70% is coming out of it. That don't make sense. So if there's a way to redirect that money and turn that debt into wealth, wouldn't that be something that you want to know about? But again, understand the math behind it. All right. So that is the reason you do that. Now, let me unpack some bank stuff for you. Okay. So if Jada went to the bank and deposited $10,000, okay, $10,000, and the bank is going to pay him 2% for them holding that money, let's just say. If we think about it, if it's not their money, is Jada not letting them borrow his money? to go use it, because I promise you this, if I go to the bank, I used to say, okay, when I use this example, I'm gonna go to the bank and I want to get me a loan for a truck. Well, you can't get a truck for no $10,000 now. You get a nice, a good used one, but probably not even a good used one these days. Anyway, side by side or a lawnmower. You get what I'm saying. But Jada deposits, he goes through the window and he deposits the $10,000 and they're going to give him 2%. Guys, let's do the math. That is $200. Okay. Now I'm going to roll up in the bank. Hey, I need a loan. And guess what? I'm going to the back, to the right corner, because I got to sit down at the desk in the office. And they're going to write up this loan agreement and they're going to give me that $10,000, loan me that $10,000 for 7%. 7%. Now, understand how I say this. I'm talking smooth and quick right now, all right? But see, I'm already telling you I'm doing that again. So you're going to be particular, looking for, all right, where's he trying to get me at? Where's he trying to get me at, right? 2%, 7%. How much are they making? Most everybody says 7%. They're paying Jada 2%, and they're receiving 7% over here, 5%. Nope. Nope. Look, that $10,000 is not the bank's money originally. That particular $10,000. They paid $200. They invested $200 to use the money. They received $700 to make the money work for them. They put up 200, they received 700. That's 250%. Woo. Come on. Show me where I'm wrong. Tell me where I'm wrong. You tell me. Guys, I'm disrupting the status quo here. Just being a little more vocal these days. So are you earning interest or are you paying interest? All right. So we're sitting here chasing these 6, 7, 8% returns, and the banks are over here making 150, 200, 300% on, but you can understand how to do that too. There's systems and financial models that you can do the same thing. And that's what we do. Third thing, taxes, tax planning. When we put together plans that are really, really, really heavy in tax planning, people automatically will say, "Oh, that seems too good to be true. That seems too good to be true." And see, here's the deal. It's not too good to be true. It's just math. And see, we've been trained and programmed to live in this system that we've conformed to, that we're not used to seeing big numbers, because tax planning is not normal for a lot of people, except for the very upper, I'm not even going to say upper echelon, but the ultra wealthy. I believe we all are upper echelon. But you got to raise your hand and say, "Hey, I want to know more about that." All right, so let me give you an example on that. I told you I'd back the math up. Okay. If you took, man, you know what? Let's see. Well, I'm going to give you a disclosure. I don't have these numbers exactly to the T, but I do have another set of numbers to the T. Okay, so I'll let you know what I mean by that. If you took $1 and you doubled it every year, that means $1 turns into $2, $2, $4, 4, 8, 8, 16. I want you to know what I mean by this, okay? In that 20th year, the power of compounding of that dollar doubling every single year, you would have $1,048,000. That's crazy, but that's true. Now, if we applied a 10% tax at every single double, a 10% tax at every single double, in year 20, you would have, this is the number I don't know 100%. I think it's like $370,000. Let me just tell you this, it's not 400,000. And let me tell you the number that I do know. It's 67% less than over here, the $1,048,000. See, that's what we're used to. We've never been, the curtain's not pulled back on the devastation of taxes. We hear the power of compounding, but we don't ever hear about the devastation of taxes. That's just a 10%. Who's got a, who gets charged a 10% tax rate? Not too many people. So what if we put a 20% tax on every single double? It's not even $200,000 that turns into. And remember, I don't know the exact number there. It's 100 and something thousand, but I do know this number. It's 88% less. So we're saving our money. We're working our tails off all of our life. We're doing this. What do we say? Money makes the world go around. Well, let me tell you something. It's going around and around, but it's slipping right through your hands. Because we don't know what we don't know. And I'm sick of it. I'm sick of people working their tail off for their whole entire life and being took advantage of because of just smooth, slick words. It ain't right. It's not right. So that's big, guys. That is big. All right. Now, the last thing is when you get ready to distribute this money, whether it's retirement income or legacy planning or whatever, particularly income, I think that income optimization is important because if you've worked your entire life and saved your entire life, you have to have something to live off of. Most of us save money in order for us to retire and have money to live off of in retirement. Yes or yes? Let me help you out. Yes. Like that, Brock. I stole that from you. Yes or yes? That's all Brock. That's a Brockism. Brockism. All right. So let me tell you this. The financial world keeps you focused on one phase and just about one phase only, and that is accumulation. Beating the market, chasing rates of returns. That's what they keep you focused on to get to the big old nest egg at the top of the hill. And once I have $1 million or once I have $2 million, then I can retire. Well, tell me what kind of income is that going to do? Because here's what happens. When you focus on that, and you're not focused on the entire thing, and you're not focused on income planning. Yeah, I got these corny things, but I got to paint the picture, right? You got to see this, man. You got to see it. What do? You're not going to put the nest egg in your backpack and go to the grocery store and say, yeah, all these groceries are mine. And I should have enough in my front pocket, right? Don't forget the Snickers bar. And there should be enough in there. Just grab it. No, you don't carry your nest egg around with you. But what happens is people are freely pulling from that nest egg not thinking. And then 2 to 3 years down the road, they realize, ooh, that nest egg is getting a little bitty. What in the world? Nobody ever told me about income planning. I might have to put myself on a budget. Well, guess what? Let me give you the rule of thumb. And if this don't wake you up, I don't know what will. Did you know that 4% of your nest egg is what the general rule of thumb has always been for you to live off of? So if you save $1 million, that's $40,000. And guess what? That's before taxes. Now, I hate to be the bearer of bad news, but because we are living longer, which is a great thing, due to health advances and such, Morningstar has done a research study that now the more appropriate number and realistic number is 2.7%. So you're telling me $27,000 a year, if you saved $1 million, $27,000 a year, guess what? Before taxes, that's what a millionaire looks like. Well, what if there are strategies and ways that you can get 5, 6, 7, 8%? 50, 60, 70,000 sounds better than 27, 28, even $40,000 a year, right? Yes or yes? Yes. All right, guys, we're right here at the end. Those 4 things. Or is your money protected? Are you earning interest or paying interest? Are you implementing any kind of tax planning? And are you mindful of income optimization when you do get close to retirement? And the earlier you plan for that, the better. So think about this. Think about this, guys. If you saved $1 million and you're only able to get, let's just say, 3% and you were able to take out 3% for your retirement income, that's $30,000 a year, and you saved $1 million. What if you only had to save up 500,000? Half the money. And you're able to take out, I did not do the math before this, okay? So you might get me on this, I don't know. But what if you're able to save half and get the same retirement income? Yeah, the math works out right. 6%. 6%. So those are the things that I wanted just to remind you of. And here's the deal. I've got the Wealth Revolution Challenge, the second one coming out. I'll put the link in the mindset page for everybody to, if anybody wants to take advantage of that. That's October 20th through the 23rd. And I go more in depth on these, but every one of those problems have a solution. All right. Every one of those problems have a solution, but you got to know the problem before you want the solution. Okay. That's all I got, guys. I hope this was helpful. I hope this was mindful. Please take a look at your situation. Take a look at people that you care about. Let them know that there's a better way. All right. We're at time right now, but if anybody wants to jump off mute and say something real quick, that would be fantastic. If you want to, if you don't, that's fine too. Anybody? Thank you,
Chad,
Sherry.
this is Sherry.
Yes, ma'am. Hey,
Man,
Sherry.
Chad, thank you. And I just want to say that I said it in the chat, and I don't know if you saw it, but boy, I'm so grateful to know you so that when I get to this place, you can handle all this, because I don't know if anybody else on the call is like me going, I know he's talking numbers. I'm not going to let my brain get fried before 9 o'clock this morning. I'm not going to.
Right on.
I am so grateful. This is your lane, young man. And thank you.
Right on. Well, thank you, Sherry. I appreciate that. I try to break it down to where you can know it And my whole goal for you is to tell people and let people know that you can have control, you can have clarity, and you can have confidence in your money. And that way you can focus on pursuing your purpose. Okay. All right, guys, appreciate you. Thank you for being on this morning. Be back tomorrow, 8:15, right here with Brock the Rock. And I believe we will be spending the morning with Maxwell. So thank you guys. Appreciate you. See you. Bye-bye.